Welcome back to Wondered Bliss. My name is Kevin. I'm an artist, a poet, and a man who is tired as shit today. I hardly slept last night at all, and there wasn't really a reason for it. I cough a lot because I used to smoke like a demon, and that's part of it, but from like 2:30 to like 6 a.m., I just was tossing and turning. No real thoughts in my mind. I ended up just scrolling my phone endlessly because what else do you fucking do? But it has left me feeling worn out this morning. God, bad. I almost didn't record today because of it. Because your mind feels foggy. You're kind of out of it because you didn't rest. The brain didn't get the chance to restore itself. But I made this commitment to myself that I'm going to record, that I'm going to podcast at least once a week. And today is one of my days off, and when I record, so I'm keeping my commitment, my promise to myself. So here we go. Back at it again with some more poetry from my poetry book, What Struggle Brings, by me, Kevin Faulkner. I have a second book as well. You can find a link to it on www.wonderedbliss.com or on Amazon. If you look it up, you can find it there. Been going through it poem by poem, page by page, just talking about all the different things. And it was funny, I was looking at the next poem, the one I'll be reading today, and me being as tired as I am might, honestly, be kind of perfect, because it's had me thinking just a little bit about what some of this felt like. Because that feeling of being tired, everybody knows it. Everybody's felt it. You're drained, you're spent, you're worn out, need some coffee, needs the chance to rest, to recoup, to regather. You're worn out, you got nothing left to give. Everybody knows that feeling physically. But here, in this poem, I really get into that feeling of being tired of who I am, or who I was becoming, the life that I was living, day by day, moment by moment. Getting tired of looking in the mirror, because you don't really recognize who's on the other side. And I don't know. It's an interesting place to be, is what I'll say. It certainly doesn't feel good. It is, I guess, what depression is. But this one, it was really kind of sitting and carrying the weight of why. And I guess I'll read it. It was something I wrote 8 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. In many ways, it's a letter to an old ex of mine. Because, a little more context, her and I, we had a toxic-ass relationship together. I think we broke up 9 or 10 times. I didn't always treat her well. And frankly, she did the same to me. We were just going back and forth, and I think, in many ways, we were hurt and broken by our own experiences growing up, the examples that our parents set, and the expectations that we had for love, and we were bringing it to each other. And it was a clusterfuck of a situation, to say it kindly. But we were obsessed with each other. We did love each other. At least I think so. We were just in no place to really be able to give each other what we needed. But I was torn up about it for a long time, and I'm sure she was too. I haven't talked to her in a long time. And that's okay. I imagine we both found our peace. I hope so. But this one, it's titled Growing Pains. And I'll read it and we'll get into it a little bit further. Sometimes I wonder, did I really fall in love? Or was I caught up by the drug? She was my new addiction. I think my heartbreak's just a symptom, but it's playing with decisions. It's got me feeling like the victim. Realization, I'm a hypocrite. But I was young and didn't notice it. But now I'm older and I realize I was cold as shit. I've got this weight I'm always rolling with. I cannot trust myself anymore because I can't stop fucking with these whores. I guess my dad, he taught me something. But I'm far from feeling love. Like my heart has been unplugged, but my thoughts won't stop their running. I need a sedative to calm it just to sleep. Fuck this yawning. I really need the sun up because I'm better in the morning, but the stargaze is coming and it's got a message for you, Kev. Life is far from over, but I'm falling, lost control, and this air is getting thin. I'm barely breathing and I'm feeling it. Lost my focus, barely seeing shit, but I'm still growing. I've still got a lot to learn, but I've got even more to give. It's my life, so I'm gonna live it. This is it. I hope you hear this. I'm a better man because of you. And I'm still sorry for your pain, but I'm just glad to see you've made it through. I hope you know that I'm gonna make it too. There's a road of pain ahead of me, but love is real and that's the proof. I just can't keep acting foolish, that's the truth, but what's a fool to do when he hates sleeping alone and then he thinks of you? I've been resorting to old habits, but it's that's got me damaged. I'm amazed that I'm still standing with my head high. Sometimes I swear I'm not the good guy, but there's still some silver lining that's trapped deep down in my soul that lifts the weight up off my shoulders. I'm no longer feeling cold. And there's the kickstart of my heart. It's going to beat until I'm old. And that's a promise to myself. It's not just shit that I was told. Damn. These growing pains, they're crazy, but they're still the things that made me. And although these times are hard, no, I wouldn't change a damn thing. Which has been a bitter pill to swallow, but it really had to happen because I can't just sit and wallow and worry about the past because it's gone. That's life. It happened. But my future is up to me as I'm writing these brand new chapters. And that's the end there. And it's like 3 pages long. It's a lot for a poem, and it's a lot to absorb in one take. Because I talked about many different things in here. And it kind of goes through this ride of self-realization and maybe some actualization to improve oneself, to change the patterns that you've recognized in yourself. And that is something I've changed a lot. For a good while, and I'm not that old, I'm 29, but in my younger days, I was a bit of a playboy. I was terrified of love. I'd seen it go poorly so many times, and as I discussed a little bit in that relationship, it blew up over and over again. I knew that I was no good at it, that this was just what love was, what love is. It's this toxic back and forth. We're all just guided by our lust. None of it's actually real or true or honest. I believed that. I genuinely did. And in many ways, I think it was an internalized shield to keep me from being vulnerable. So I just always kept people at arm's reach. And what it really did for me, though, it just ensured, and I've talked about this before, it ensured that I never felt connection. I never felt comfortable. I never allowed love into my heart, into my life. And if you're always keeping people at arm's reach, and you're always denying that loving part and piece of who you are, now, how are you going to be content? How are you going to be happy and fulfilled in life? When in many ways, that is where fulfillment comes from. Why do we do any of the things that we do? It's for each other. It's for our families. It's for our loved ones. It's a bid for affection and attention and recognition. Almost all of what we do is for that. It's a part and piece of survival. There's the survival of the body that is fed by food, eating, shelter, and everything. But then there's the soul. There's the heart. You can feed into yourself, yes, and it is through hobbies and lifestyles, interests, and all kinds of things, but that will never satisfy that longing in your heart for human connection. We're community creatures. We need each other. And I was always keeping myself from it. And I was running around, undoubtedly hurting people, never intending to. But people get attached to each other relatively quickly, especially if you're sleeping together. And even if they've agreed that this is just a friend situation, this is just a one-time thing, this is just a hookup, deep down when you don't get that call, it's a rejection. It is. And rejections hurt. They absolutely do. To think that you had sparked a connection with somebody and then it never manifest into anything real, that shit stings. It does. And you can lie to yourself, and I lied to myself for years, because I was upfront and honest, really, about all of it. I was never looking for anything serious. And you can say that, but it is going to hurt people. And in this back and forth game that her and I did for a long time, I'd go and I'd sleep with other people. And then we'd find ourselves back together, and then we'd break up again, and I'd go and sleep with someone else. And she'd go and do it. And yeah, no, the heartbreak and kind of like toxic addiction that can create in a person's mind, it'll wreak havoc in their life. It certainly wreaked havoc in mine. It took me years to get over this situation, and I was the one mostly causing it. Imagine from her perspective. Probably wasn't fun. But I have had the time and have taken the time to sit with myself, to really look at these patterns that I was falling into. And like I said, I wrote this poem probably 8 years ago. And I've changed everything. I mean, I really am. I've been devoting myself. I want to be a devoted man. I want to have a family. I want to be honorable. I've gone and lived this life. And what did it bring me? Nothing but heartache. Nothing but that longing inside of my chest for better, for more. And I love this line in here where I say I've still got a lot to learn, but I've got even more to give. And I think that was the feeling. That was the thing, I think, that has nagged at me more than anything else. Because I knew that I could be doing better. I knew that everybody that I was engaging with deserved more from me. But I was unwilling to give it because of my own fear, because of my own unhealed wounds. But deep down, I knew it. Why do you think I continued to engage in all of these different things? I was deep down longing for it, searching for it, but always keeping it just far enough away that I could never have it. And you know you can do better. When you're running around fucking up your life, you may have every self-doubt, every insecurity. You may not know if you're really worth that better life, but you know you've got more to give. 100%. Everybody does. Everybody does. But we'll downplay ourselves. We'll keep ourselves small. We'll keep ourselves in some type of self-destructive habit and tendency, warring with our own minds constantly, because the conscience, that God voice, the inner voice inside of you that knows better, that wants better for you, it doesn't shut up. It never does. And it knows the truth of your potential. But you have to live it. To become the person that you can become, you have to earn it. You have to deserve it. And it has nothing to do with your innate worth as a person, but everything to do with who you are and which actions you choose to take. If you never work out, you never exercise, you eat like shit, you don't deserve a six-pack. It's not that you're not built for it. It's not that you can't have it. It's not that you don't have the exact same physical structure as everyone else who does have the six-pack, but you're not living the lifestyle. You haven't earned the six-pack because that's a hard thing to do. You got to eat right. You got to exercise. You got to move your body. If you want a committed life with a partner and to be an honorable person who's foregoing cheap thrills for the sake of building something real and meaningful, you have to earn that. and you do it by doing it, by being that honorable person, by not running around, sleeping around, by not giving in to every interest, to every passing fancy, every cheap thrill. To get that six-pack, you give up some cake every now and then. You don't eat it. You don't partake. It's not that you can't have it. It's not that there aren't healthy snacks and good things that you can partake in. In the case of relationships, if you're with someone that you love, go eat cake with them. Go have your fun. Feed into each other. And only feed that. Because it's something here. And it's another point that's a bit uncomfortable to talk about. But it is such a problem in today's world. I talk about how it was the fear of relationships and the fear of vulnerability and all of those things, and all of that is true. But why was I running around the way that I was? And you cannot ignore the massive elephant in the fucking room. We are living in a hypersexualized society. There is pornography everywhere that you turn. Everybody is hoeing themselves out on Instagram. I've done it, they've done it, they do it now. It's everywhere. People have been, for many of the same reasons, giving up on this idea of commitment and being with one partner for a lifetime, chasing the plentiful and the many. It's become no longer a taboo, but maybe the expectation and the standard. It's everywhere. This influence, it's massive. And say with something like pornography, the first time I saw it, I was 11 years old. 11. I wasn't ready for that. And all throughout my formative years, Instagram and all of these social media platforms popping up with easier and quicker access to every type of idea and fantasy. If you're filling your mind with all of this all of the time, what do you think your life is going to be? Do you think you're going to be interested in the idea of monogamy, in the idea of commitment to one person when all the time you're being fed the fantasy of many? No, you're not. It's impossible. I heard someone talking about it. Our minds are algorithms, just like on an Instagram feed. What you continually feed it, it will look for more of that and try to feed you more of that same type of idea, that same type of outcome. It's habit formation. That's all that is. So you can't have two things existing at once. And that's been a difficult thing for me to grapple with, and I think so many people are grappling with it now. This hookup culture that we're existing in. The dating world is fucked in many capacities, and I think a lot of people are getting tired of it. I've been tired of it. Because it doesn't lead to anything good. It doesn't fulfill you in any way. It didn't for me. I haven't actually met anybody at the end of the day who's gone and slept around with a bunch of people who was genuinely satisfied. They maybe scratched an itch. But did they ever feel loved? No. Usually not. And maybe there's some rare case out there who does, and God bless you. But things have become twisted in our world. They really have. But what you continually do and continually feed, it's going to lead you to the end result of those actions. And in this life that I was leading, it was hypersexualized. It was looking for all of the options and opportunities who wanted to engage in this with me, and never getting connected to one because then I would have to give up that. But it drains you. It won't fulfill you. If you're out there doing it right now, you may be attached to it in a way. I know I was, and I'd probably argue with me all about it because of my innate fears and everything else that's bubbling inside. But deep down, you know. I'm sure you do. I'm positive you do, or you soon will find out that at the end of the day, that it's not going to serve you. So that right there, I think everything happens for a reason. I do. Everything that we're being guided to and that is happening in our lives is happening for a reason. It's for the sake of learning. Because you don't know until you know. That is true. But if you're swimming around in that same place just like I was, and you're tired of being tired, you're tired of looking in the mirror, not knowing who you are, what your purpose is, not feeling fulfilled, look at your habits. Look at your life. What are you doing every day? How are you thinking? How are you thinking about people? How are you treating them? Your answer is there, and it's likely the opposite of what you're doing right now. If you're not happy with your life, you're not happy with who you are, it's not you. It's the patterns and cycles that you've been doing, participating in. It's that. Because you is that thing that's not satisfied with it. You is that thing that knows better, that knows you deserve better, that knows you can do better, give more. That's why you're not satisfied in this unfulfilling life. You are that. You aren't the pattern that you're currently in. That's just your pattern, and it's given you uncomfortable and unsatisfying outcomes. At least it did for me. Where there's likely many heartbreaks, there's likely many frustrations. So look at that. If you're not happy, change something. And it's not difficult. Breaking and changing a pattern and habit, it's not easy. Have you tried to change your Instagram algorithm? It takes a while. You have to look at different stuff. You have to engage with different material. And all of a sudden, it will learn, and then you'll start getting a different feed. It's the same with your mind. It's the same with your expectations. You have to engage with your life differently. And it will take time. But the more that you do it, the better you get. The more that you believe in yourself and in this dream of better. And by golly, you'll get better. It's true. It's true. And I may have been all over the place with this exact discussion because I am tired as shit. But I've broken hearts and I'm tired of it. And I don't want to break anymore. I don't want to break my own damn heart. I've been tired of being tired. I was tired 8 years ago. And I've changed a lot, and I've been much more fulfilled in my life. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I have a lot of room to grow? Still. Yes, every day, forever, and always I will. We all do. That's okay. That's how it should be. But every day, the more that you do this, the more that you engage in your life in a more meaningful way, you'll have a more meaningful life. That's just the truth. There is no denying it. And frankly, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. So, I might go take a nap. I'm going to finish my coffee and see what else the day has to offer me. But for now, I'm going to call this an episode. And I do wish you the best. I really do. I want the best for everybody. You, me, and everything included. But if it's resonated, check out my book, What Struggle Brings, by me, Kevin Faulkner. It's on my website, wondertobliss.com. I've got merchandise, other things too. Go check it out. I have a second book as well. I'll get into that too, The Melancholy Swells. Because these things, they take a while. It takes a bit to process. And that's okay. You learn as you go. But, peace.